Welcome to our deep dive, everyone.
Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a special evening ahead, racing under the midnight sun up in Boden.
That's right. All focused on tonight's V75 card, June 14th.
And the setting sounds perfect. Reports say great weather for trotting tonight.
Couldn't ask for better conditions, really.
Okay, let's jump into it. V75 won first. It's a sprint, 1,640 meters car start.
Right. And the sources, they pretty quickly focus on two main horses here.
Okay, who's first?
Well, the current public favorite seems to be number 2, Exokemp. It gets mentioned specifically for a really good recent performance. So that's one horse to beat, according to some.
There's another horse getting strong backing from a different angle.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Number 4, Scorpion Ruda. Some sources see this one as the primary contender.
Why the strong push for number 4? I see a note here about a break last time.
Yeah, it did have that break, which obviously wasn't ideal. But the sources emphasize what it did before that. It showed serious ability, even from a worse starting post.
And now it's drawn a front row post.
Exactly. And the key word used in the material is start snap. Really quick off the gate.
Ah, so super fast starter.
Yeah. Which means over this short distance, it's seen as very likely to shoot straight to the lead.
Okay, so the combination of that raw speed, especially early speed, and the likelihood of controlling the race from the front, that's why it's a top pick for some, despite the recent misstep.
Precisely. That front-running scenario is a big plus in a sprint like this.
Is there anything else to watch out for when looking at the times or performances here?
There is one interesting point raised, a sort of general caution about times run on certain tracks or during, say, super fast race weekends like the Elitlop weekend recently.
Right. Not all fast times are created equal. Context matters.
Exactly. Just a reminder to look at where and when those times were achieved. It might apply to some horses here.
Good point. Who else is getting a mention in V75-1? Any challengers?
Number 3, Crow Motion, also noted as start snap, so potentially quick early. And number 1, Hercules Godiva is highlighted too. In good form, and could get a nice trip hugging the rail from post 1.
So if the two big names, 2 and 4, really go at it hard early on.
Yeah, if they burn each other out fighting for the lead.
That could set things up for number 1 or number 3.
That's the thinking in some analyses. They become quite interesting, maybe at lower percentages, if the pace is really hot up front. It's that classic sprint question. Does the speed hold, or do the closers get a chance?
Okay, let's move to V75-2. This is the cold blood division. Different type of horse, right? More stamina.
Yeah, the Cold Bloods division in 2,140 meters volt start. And these horses, they're built differently, often powerful stayers.
And there's a clear favorite identified in the material here.
Oh, yes. Number 12, Ulfzosen. Made a really impressive comeback recently after a long time off.
The sources seem high on its basic ability, its capacity.
Absolutely. When it's right, Ulfzosen performs at a very, very high level for a cold blood. But there's a significant but.
Which is?
Its history. Injury problems keep cropping up in the analysis. That makes its consistency, whether it can hold that peak form, a real question mark.
Huge talent, but fragile. What about the main challenger?
Number 10, Sargo. This horse gets mentioned repeatedly for having serious speed. Serious engine. Could potentially match the favorite's times.
But it also comes with a warning label.
It does. The sources are pretty consistent on this. Sargo has developed a bad habit of breaking stride during races.
Ah, so speed is there, but reliability isn't.
Pretty much. Makes it a risky bet, even with that speed. There is a note, though, that a driver change might help sort out those braking issues.
So the top two both have these big question marks. Anyone else we should consider when looking wider?
Definitely. The sources say this is a race to spread the coverage. Number 8, Eden's Odin, and number 9, Mellum Tier are mentioned. Capable horses visiting specifically for this Boden race, often a good sign.
And any potential real long shots, someone flying under the radar?
One viewpoint highlights number 3, Eskils Balder. Seen as an outsider, but the analysis suggests if it could somehow manage to get to the lead from its post, well, might just hang on for a surprise.
Interesting. So overall, V75-2 sounds pretty tricky.
Yeah, the sources describe it as tough, lots of possibilities. Covering multiple horses seems like the recommended approach based on the material.
Okay, V75-3. This is a longer race, a staying test, 2,640 meters, volt start, and with handicap additions.
Right, so some horses start 20 meters behind the main group based on their earnings.
And interestingly, the favorite actually starts from that handicap.
Yes. Number 12, Observeem. is the current favorite, despite giving away that 20-meter head start.
And another strong horse mentioned starts back there, too.
Number 10, Young Yak, also starting from the handicap and highlighted for its high capacity. The sources rate both of them highly, but they also acknowledge, it's tough chasing from behind.
It sure is. Who are the main contenders starting from the front line that the sources like?
Number 9, Punchboard, is seen as having a good shot. Number 4, Nightwish River gets some strong mentions. Called a potential future star, looks professional, good form, and crucially racing on its home track here in Boden.
The key is the start for number 4, though.
Yeah, overcoming its specific post position is noted as important for its chances. Also, number 8, Diablo gets a nod from one source. Showed good form last time, even from a bad spot.
Sounds like another race where tactics will be key.
It does. Described as quite an even race in the sources, and again, the suggestion is to cover it quite widely if you're playing V75.
Any specific long shot ideas that caught the analysts' attention here?
Yes, a few interesting ones. Number 2, A Perfect King. Highlighted because its earnings are maybe lower than its actual ability suggests.
So, potentially underrated?
Could. It's noted as versatile too, can race from different positions. One source really likes it as a long shot idea, especially at a low percentage.
Okay, who else?
Number 6, Viking Lane. This one's interesting. The analysis notes it looks ready to break its personal best time, suggesting it's in peak form. Plus, a driver change is seen as a positive.
And the potential race scenario.
It could possibly get to the lead and stay there for a long, long time. Makes it a really fascinating outsider.
A front-running long shot. Always exciting.
Definitely adds intrigue. And one more mention, number 14, Boden June, starting way back. Mentioned as maybe returning to form. Worth considering at a very low percentage if you think it might recapture its best.
Right, moving on to V75-4. Now this one seems to have some disagreement in the sources about who the top horse is.
That's right, this is notable. One perspective picks number 7, Automatic Flight, as the main choice, the one to beat.
But another source strongly favors number 4, Max Montana.
Yes, and even calls it a Skrell Spick, which basically means they see it as a strong banker, but maybe one that the wider public is overlooking a bit, suggests potential value there.
So that disagreement itself is revealing, isn't it?
It really is. It tells you the race might be more open than it looks, or at least that different analysts are weighing different factors more heavily. There isn't one clear standout according to all the material.
Beyond those two main contenders with conflicting views, who else is getting mentioned for, say, system bets or wider coverage?
Let's see. Number 3, Goo Goo Gone pops up. Number 11, Grand Safari. Number 9, Second Breakfast. And number 10, Conrad's Jessica. They're all in the mix in various discussions.
Any others noted perhaps at lower percentages?
Yeah, horses like number 2, Hero Godiva, number 5, Von Lloyd, and number 12, Face to Face, are also mentioned as possibilities if you're looking to spread your net really wide.
So the key takeaway for V75-4 is that lack of consensus at the very top. Be aware of that tension.
Exactly. That divergence often signals unpredictability, maybe a chance for a better price if you pick the right side of that debate.
Okay, V75-5. And the sources are pretty clear on this one. High upset potential flagged.
Yeah, that's stated explicitly right away. Big warning sign or opportunity, depending on how you look at it.
Who's seen as the class horse, the best horse on paper?
That would be number 12, Jobs Post. One source calls it the best in the field, hands down. Says it would be very tough to beat if, and it's a big if.
If the pace is strong up front.
Exactly. If they go fast early, it gives Jobs Post a chance to use its class and run them down from its tricky wide post position, number 12.
So very pace dependent from out there.
Yeah.
Who's likely to benefit from a better draw?
Well, number 1, Imperator FI, is seen as a major player. If it can hold the lead from that inside gate, post 1, that's a huge advantage.
And I see notes about one particular stable having a strong hand here.
You do, yeah. Multiple interesting runners. Number 2, HCS Crazy Horse, is mentioned as a strong contender, maybe the one the stable fancies most, especially from a good post.
Okay.
And number 5, Night Art, from the same stable, finished well last time. Could be dangerous if the race sets up for its closing kick.
What about number 4, King of Jazz?
That one's highlighted as a potential frontrunner. And interestingly, it's mentioned with a Barfoda setup, racing without shoes.
Which often means extra speed, right?
Usually, yeah. If you can get to the front and benefit from going shoeless, the analysis suggests it's definitely one to consider.
Any deep long shots from that same strong stable?
Yes, number 6, Skate Tricks. Mentioned as a potential inclusion at a very low percentage if you're looking for a real bomb. Having multiple good horses from one stable just adds another layer of complexity here.
Definitely sounds like a race where anything could happen.
That's the message from the sources for sure.
All right, we're into the home stretch. V75 6. Class 3 up to bronze division horses here.
And according to the sources, strap yourself in because this is considered one of the absolute hardest races on the entire card to figure out.
Okay, so wide open is the understatement.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Lots of potential winners, according to the analysis.
Who's the likely favorite, at least?
Number 2, Filling Fuel, seems to be the expected favorite. Has a top driver, could potentially get the lead. Tick some boxes.
And other frequently mentioned contenders.
Number 3, Livin' High Sisu, gets highlighted. Good form, seen as important to include. Number 4, Leaderboard, also brought up. Interesting candidate, and again noted as running Barfoda. That shoeless angle keeps popping up.
It does. Now, the sources seem to put a special emphasis on the spring spore positions in this race. That advantage is seen as key.
Very much so, according to the material.
So, who are the horses highlighted from those spring spore posts?
Okay, number 13, Vesterbo Tramp, starting from a spring spore. Considered a must include if you're covering the race. Strong finish last time, good driver, plus that starting advantage, seen as a major threat.
And number 14.
TV Sisu, also from a spring spore. Called out as a potential winner even at a low percentage. Showed huge speed previously. Seems to be coming back to form, trying Barfoda. Positive driver change noted. Both 13 and 14 are getting strong mentions as potential upsetters from those advantageous spots.
Wow, okay. So really watch those spring spore runners in V75 6.
Definitely. And just one more mention, number 5, JMS Caviar won last time, also noted as a potential long shot inclusion. But yeah, the overall message is this race is tough. Spread your bets and pay close attention to 13 and 14 from the spring spore.
Got it. And finally, the big one. V75 7, the Norrbotten Storepris. Group 1 action, the main event.
Absolutely. And it features a horse that dominates the discussion in the sources. Number 8, Don Fanucci's Ed.
Seen as the standout class-wise.
Overwhelmingly so. The analysis suggests it might be better than ever after a recent procedure, coming off a huge run in the Elitlop final. Its raw ability isn't really questioned in the material provided.
There's always a but, isn't there? What's the catch?
The post position. Number 8. Starting way out wide. The sources all agree this makes the race way more interesting than it might otherwise be. It gives the others a real chance.
So post 8 is the great equalizer here.
It certainly seems to be viewed that way. It's a massive tactical challenge, even for a horse of this caliber, against this level of competition.
Okay, so who are the main challengers looking to take advantage from better starting spots?
Number 4, the Locomotive, is generating a lot of buzz in the sources. Looked really sharp in a recent big race heat. Known for early speed. The driver's intent to win this race is explicitly mentioned.
And trying the Barfoda angle, too.
Yep, testing the shoeless setup before the race. If it works, it could be a huge factor.
And number 5, Geocache.
Also seen as a very serious threat. Finished strongly last time, maybe didn't get the best trip early on, now has what looks like optimal conditions from post 5. In fact, one analysis actually picks Geocache to win, specifically citing the post position advantage over Don Fanucci's Ed.
Wow, picking against the big favorite. That shows how important the draw is considered.
Exactly. It highlights the opportunity created by Don Fanucci's Ed's wide draw.
Any other horses getting mentions?
Number 3, Dolce Vicky, is noted as a possible early leader. Number 7, High on Pepper, pops up in some system tips. And number 10, Working Class Hero, starting from the second row, is discussed too. Good international form, expected to run well, maybe aiming for a good placing here.
So summing up V75 7, Don Fanucci's Ed is the star, no doubt. But that post-8 draw is the critical factor the sources keep coming back to. It opens the door wide for horses like the Locomotive and Geocache.
Precisely. Setting up what could be a really exciting climax to the V75 card.
Yeah.
It's not seen as a walkover for the favorite at all.
Okay, that was quite the deep dive through the sources for Boden tonight. Thinking about those specific factors we've highlighted tonight might just be the key to unlocking this Boden V75 card.